So welcome everyone. My name is Dr. Jacqueline Miller. I am the Director of Admissions for the University of Washington's Evans School of Public Policy and Governance. So we'll start from this point, which is the land and labor acknowledgement. The University of Washington acknowledges the Coast Salish people of this land, the land which touches the shared waters of all tribes and bands within Suquamish, Tulalip, and Muckleshoot nations. So the agenda tonight is to offer you 10 tips for writing your statement of purpose, the Evans Statement of Purpose expectations, the review. We'll review a few and then we'll have a Q&A about those. And then we'll also have a Q&A that addresses your particular questions. For my first tip is to start early. You're in a great time right now because our application deadline isn't until January 15th. So you want to start thinking about your statement of purpose and what information you would like to have included in your statement of purpose. As long as you start early, there will be time for revisions and rewrites and edits along the way. So I definitely want to encourage you to start early. By starting early, that doesn't mean spend 3 or 4 hours. It could mean spending 10 minutes, 15 minutes a day to get you started. My second tip would be to brainstorm questions to yourself. What are some of those questions you would like to have answered in your statement of purpose? Sometimes I like to use this as I would a resume. So in a resume and in an interview, you are always asked to give examples of. And so if I am brainstorming this question of the statement of purpose, I will probably want to have 3 to 5 experiences that I would like to talk about or have embedded within my statement of purpose. If you have seen any of my tutorials, webinars previously, I'm always talking about how you're weaving and crafting your story through each part of your application. So this will be another part for you to weave something about you and the stories about you into it. So really think about what are some of the questions that you want to have answered inside of your statement of purpose. You know, was there a pivotal moment that made you come back and decide to go to grad school? And if so, what would that look like in your experiences? Remember, there's no one fit all there's no one fit all size for our students. Our students come from diverse backgrounds and interests. And so you really want to take your time to key in on that. My third tip would be have a strong lead in. What are some of the things that would make you stand out with your admissions team? The admissions committee. What are some of those things, a strong lead in? Just like in your interview, if you were going for a job, it's usually tell me about yourself. Well, I don't want to just tell you, I want to show you, as I said before, have 3 to 5 experiences that are good examples of who you are as a person. So definitely think about having a strong lead in to your statement of purpose. And remember, you're going to revise and revise. And one day you may say, oh, this is what I really want them to know. And the next day you say, no, that's not what I really want them to know. This is what I really want them to know. So that may change. And you always want to give yourself time enough to adjust to how you're feeling about your personal statement. It's not etched in the stone. You still have at this point 8 weeks before the application is required to be submitted. The fourth is show, don't tell. So we go back to those experiences and how your personal experience and your story is being weaved in and out through your application. The fifth is be selective. What are some of the things that really highlight you, that will tell us really who you are as a person, where you've come from, where you're at this point in your life, where do you hope to go, and how could that MPA degree from Evans School really get you there? So remember, 3 to 5 experiences touching on past, present, future experiences, and how the Evans experience and the skill sets and the tools that we're going to give you will help you get to where you're trying to go in your career. The sixth tip is be succinct. Sometimes, and I would admit I do it sometimes as well, as I tend to get loopy at certain points of the day. And all of a sudden, I may start a story at point A, but I'll go Z to then back down to X and then over to D, instead of doing a straight line to A to B. Just take out the fluff, as one of my MPA professors used to say, take out the fluff and be succinct. And so as you revise and edit your statement of purpose, you will start seeing that. And you really want to make sure you have someone who can read each version of your statement of purpose, and try to have it be the same person so that they can see the growth that you're doing over time in these 8 weeks that we have before the application deadline, that they can see the growth and they can offer advice or they can help you edit. The 7th tip is not everything can be reused. And so I say that because sometimes as we apply to grad school, we may apply to 2 or 3 grad schools. And the statement of purpose may be different for each grad school. So you really want to make sure you do your research about the university, because that's going to be a part of your statement of purpose. Like, why the Evans School? What are some of the qualities of the Evans School that you hope to obtain to help you reach your future career goals? So be specific about the university and the program so that the admission committee can say, yes, this applicant, I can tell, gets us. They read, they understood the mission, vision, values, the student careers that we are preparing for the future, and I think they will be a good fit. So they have seen you do your research and your homework about the university so that you can explain, oh, this is why this person wants to come to the Evans School. I have seen, believe it or not, some statement of purposes that had the wrong university attached to it. So your statement of purpose is not a generic document that you just reuse from university to university. And clearly, we don't go ahead and submit the statement of purpose with the wrong university. So I definitely want you to revise, revisit, and be clear and succinct on what type of information you are including within your statement of purpose. Get to know your audience. And that is something that I'm always telling prospective students. Get to know your audience. Who are the faculty members who will be reading your application packets? On our website, if you were to go, you can review the faculty. You can look at the faculty, you can click on the faculty, you can look at their research of interest and say, is there something there that resonates with you? And if there is there something in there you may consider including in your statement of purpose as to why you're choosing the Evans School and why it will be a good fit, and especially if there's a faculty member that resonates with you. You can also get to know the staff as well. We've always have opportunities for you to reach out and have an advising meeting. I've definitely been advising several students a day, maybe 10 to 15 a week. And so I definitely want you to continue to reach out to us so that you'll get to know the university, get to know the program, and to get to know the audience that you will be interacting. Because an MPA degree and a graduate degree is an investment into your future, at least 2 years, 3 years for some. And so you definitely want to make sure it is going to be a good fit for you. Revise, revise, revise. That is to say that as you set time out in your day, in your schedule that you set to write the statement of purpose, take your time and revise it. It is okay for you to change gears and say, you know what, that is not exactly what I want to convey. I think I'm missing the connection. Remember, there's should be a connection between the first paragraph to the second to the third paragraph. What are the connectors in your story that has a nice flow so that the admission committee isn't guessing or trying to interpret what you want to say? You want to be clear. And you can be clear by revising and making sure that your statement of purpose is succinct and clear. So definitely take your time, and there's nothing wrong with revising. There are many people, and there's never the first time to, there's never, I'll write this, I'll sit down for 3 hours, write this statement of purpose, and it's going to be perfect. There's very rarely of occasion that that happens. So be okay with revising your work and having other people take a look at it. Tip number 10, be your authentic self. Know that you are enough. We value diversity in our student body. We value diversity in race, and gender, and culture, and background. I think the diversity is what adds a richness in the conversations and the interactions that happen in the classroom. And I want you to be yourself when writing your story. It's your story, it's your journey, where you have been and where you hope to go. So I really want you to be yourself, your authentic self. Because if you're your authentic self in the beginning, you will be your authentic self throughout the program. And as you enter your career, you are still your authentic self. So definitely don't be afraid to reach out and talk about who you are as a person. What have you gone through? What have you overcome to get to the point where now you're at grad school and you're ready to make a commitment into your future and invest in your future? So I definitely want you to be yourself, and that should show through your statement of purpose, through your resume, through your transcript. We should be able to see your story all the way through. And your statement of purpose is your prime real estate. That is where you want to be able to say, here I am, and this is why I want to be at the Evans School, and this is how I plan on using the skills and the tool sets that you give me to make an impact and a difference in the world. And so I definitely want you to be yourself as you think about and reflect and you write your statement of purpose. So the Evans MPA statement of purpose, describing in 750 words or fewer. That's why you're going to revise, edit, because you want to drill down to less than 750 words. You want to talk about yourself. You want to talk about the reasons you're applying to the program, your expectations of the program in furthering your career objectives, and how your academic background, curricular, professional experience, community and or volunteer work, and other factors relevant to your interests in public policy and management. And so 750 words doesn't sound like a lot. And I would encourage you in your first couple drafts of your statement of purpose, don't get caught up on the 750. If it goes to 1,500, the better, because then you can kind of drill down, keep cleaning it up, cleaning up the language and editing and cutting out words. And as my professor always say, cut out the fluff, and all of a sudden you'll have a product that you're proud of. So definitely think about in the beginning, Don't worry about the word count. As you get closer to the middle, really start thinking about, okay, I need to cut this short. I have my 3 to 5 stories, but is there 2 or 3 that really stand out and resonate with me? Can I take those out? And the answer is yes, it's yours. 3 to 5 is just to give you time to think about what are the stories that you want the admission committee to know about you, and how can I be succinct in cutting down the word count on that 1,500. So take your time and don't be afraid of the word count early on. You still have time to edit and get it down to the appropriate number. So here are a few, and I'm trying to think about how to do this, because I am not sharing my screen now, so I can't see the chat box. So
I'm here, Jackie, and there's nothing in the chat box yet.
okay, so thank you, Melanie. So I am going to read this in the chat box. I want you to tell me what's good about this snapshot of a statement of purpose, and what do you think this person could have maybe edited or did something different, deleted altogether. So these are some examples. They're not examples completely, is kind of a profile that we thought, or a persona of a student. So this didn't come directly from a student from the Evans School. This was something that the admission committee over time developed so that we can see the who and the why in this one. So this statement says, through my life experiences and studies, I've learned that who I am in this moment in time of collective human story is a mediator. I am a hybrid of different worlds. I know how to approach the minutiae of both modern ideology and traditional customs, and how to blend the two with caution and consideration. I have all the right facets and experience to implement change, as well as the drive. Studying public policy and international development at the university will empower me in my journey of dismantling terror and radicalism in X. So, does anyone see something that we can do differently within this portion of a personal statement?
We're starting to receive some feedback in the chat. So we had one person mention that this was too general. So it's not based on enough specific experiences.
Absolutely.
We've had one person also say the statement lacks explicit examples. Anna had called out that there's too much fluff. Nicholas had called out that this is telling more so than showing. There's another comment in here that it seems to be lacking a real narrative. There aren't specific examples. So I think the ongoing trend and theme within the feedback in the chat is that it's not succinct, one, and there aren't a lot of specific examples to better inform the admissions committee on who this prospective applicant is.
Excellent. That is spot on. This is not clear, succinct. As I said, 3 to 5 experiences, and you can cut down, but this isn't, this is a show, don't tell. And so definitely we need more examples placed into a personal statement so that the admission committee can understand who you are as a person and why the Evans School will be the right fit for you. Because remember, it's not just a fit for you, but it's also a fit for the university. The second example is the Evans MPA in your career. Attending the Evans School will prepare me for leading within an organization such as X company and equip me with the practical and theoretical tools necessary to construct and implement productive policies and programs for X community. I am also excited to learn from the Evans School faculty members like X. His experience of ethics and management will be invaluable to my goal of working with organizations that must navigate the complexities of X policy. So what do we think about this excerpt from a statement of purpose?
The feedback I'm seeing in the chat that this is a much better specific example. It's clear and it's guided. And there's also good connection with their audience that Lizzie had called out.
Excellent. Spot on. Commitment to service pre and post MPA. My liberal arts background and experience at X company has taught me that isolated specializations do not lead to effective decision making. Instead, the best solutions result from diverse groups of experts and stakeholders working together. I intend to focus my studies on collaborative, multi-sectoral approaches to effecting change so that postgraduate school, I am able to pursue a career that allows me to bring together diverse groups and contribute to effective policy solutions. What do we think of this one?
Feedback in the chat is pretty general.
Correct. So this is general. There are no necessary examples. I intend to focus my studies of collaborative multi-sectoral approaches. Well, what sector are you hoping to work in? What types of approaches are you trying to do? And your future goals and what type of company and what type of role? How can you be more specific within this? So this is a nice draft, but now you want to start adding details into it. So the more details you can put into this, the more clarity of who you are as a person trying to get into the program that the admission committee will have an opportunity to see. Some who wander are lost. It was always somewhat difficult for me. It was always somewhat difficult for me to pursue a true passion in most academic subjects. Due to the fact that everything piques my interest, there is an immense amount of information and professions in the world to pursue, which left me drawing blanks. As I've encountered different academic paths and life experiences, I often reflect on the big picture and how that affects things on the ground level. Now that I am exploring graduate school, I am looking for a program that can help me continue to learn in several directions at once, while focusing on a career that truly helps others in their lives. Because of interdisciplinary nature of your program, I look forward to studying at the Sanford School. Does anyone see any red flags with this statement of purpose?
Comments in the chat. It would be good to have the correct school listed. That's correct. Misspellings, grammar mistakes, it's vague.
Exactly. Remember, succinct, clear, and the correct school. There is no generic statement of purpose that's going to work for each school, because you're at the Evans School at the University of Washington, not Sanford School. So that would be a major flaw in this statement of purpose. And so I would encourage you to continue to proofread. Always get a friend or two who can help read it for you. Sometimes you stare at a document, or at least I stare at a document so long, proofreading can be difficult because I say, oh, it's flawless, I'm done. And then someone else will say, hey, did you notice that you spelled proofread and you missed the F? And so you definitely want to take your time and have a friend or a colleague proofread your document for you.